In 1980, Hollywood blessed us with Airplane, a hilarious comedy about a former fighter pilot who must land a passenger plane when everyone gets sick from bad fish. The movie made people laugh so hard that it became one of the biggest hits of the year. While most people know it as one of the funniest movies ever made, there are many surprising stories about it that even the biggest fans have never heard about. Walk with me and I'll tell you all about them. Number 1. Leslie Nielsen. Horror movie star Vincent Price was actually offered the doctor role before Leslie Nielsen ever tried out for it. Price said no to the part and later called it his biggest career mistake. When Nielsen first auditioned, he tried to make his lines funny, but the movie makers told him something important. They said to act like he didn't know he was in a comedy at all. This advice helped Nielsen give the perfect serious performance that made everything even funnier.
That's right.
We have some passengers that are very sick. Could you come take a look at them?
Yes. Yes, of course.
Christopher Lee also turned down the role, which he later said was a huge mistake on his part. Number 2. Recording mistake. The whole idea for Airplane started by accident in the early 1970s. The movie makers used to leave a video recorder running all night to catch TV commercials for their comedy shows. One morning, while fast-forwarding through the recordings, they found an old Airplane movie called 0 Hour from 1957. The old movie was so seriously dramatic that it became accidentally funny. They thought it was so silly that they bought the rights to use it for only about $2,500, which is less than most people spend on a used car today. Number 3. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Basketball star Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was originally offered $30,000 to play the co-pilot character, but he asked for $35,000 instead because he wanted to buy a beautiful oriental rug for his home. His manager told him that if he wanted the rug, he would have to do the movie to earn the extra money. The role was first written for baseball player Pete Rose, but he was too busy playing baseball during the summer. Kareem's part became one of the most remembered scenes when a little boy recognizes him on the plane.
Over and out.
Wait a minute. I know you. You're Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Number 4. Real airport voices. The funny argument between airport announcers about a red zone and white zone wasn't acted by professional voice actors. Instead, the movie makers found the real married couple who recorded the actual announcements that passengers heard every day at Los Angeles International Airport. After trying several professional actors without getting the right sound, they tracked down this real couple. The couple thought it was funny to perform a silly version of their actual job, and their real voices made the ridiculous argument feel more believable to audiences. Number 4. Peter Graves. When Peter Graves first read the script, he was so shocked that he threw it across his room and called it the worst thing he had ever read. He thought it was terrible and tasteless. However, his agent and daughters convinced him to read it again and think about it differently. For the strange lines he had to say to a young boy in the movie, the directors actually lied to him.
You ever seen a grown man naked? Joey, you ever hang around the gymnasium?
They told him those confusing parts would be explained later in scenes he wouldn't be in, but no such scenes actually existed in the movie. Number 6. The movie studio. Paramount Pictures didn't trust the 3 first-time directors, so they put a special rule in their contract. The studio could fire all 3 directors after just 2 weeks of filming if they didn't like what they saw. The studio also assigned an experienced producer to watch over them and make sure they were doing things right. To prove they knew what they were doing, the directors filmed the famous "Don't Call Me Shirley" scene on the very first day.
Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me.
When the studio bosses saw how funny it was, they finally understood the movie and felt much better about it. Number 7. The budget was cut in half. Paramount Pictures first thought the movie would cost $7.5 million to make, but the producers worked so hard to bring the cost down to only $3.5 million, which was less than half of what the studio expected. This low budget actually helped the movie better because it forced everyone to be more creative with less money. The movie was filmed in just 34 days during the summer of 1979. Within 5 days of being released in theaters, it had already made back all the money it cost to make, which almost never happens with movies. Number 8. Johnny's funny lines. Steven Stucker, who played the crazy air traffic controller named Johnny, was told what other characters would say to him, but he made up all of his own responses.
Johnny, what can you make out of this?
This? Well, I can make a tap.
The directors gave him complete freedom to say whatever he thought would be funny. One of the other actors said they would often call Steven when writing scenes to ask what Johnny would say because nobody else could think of responses as silly as his. Lines like, "Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit coffee" became some of the most quoted parts of the movie. Number 9. Robert Stack. To help Robert Stack give the right performance, the director showed him a video of a comedian named John Biner pretending to be Robert Stack from his old TV show, so Robert Stack ended up pretending to be someone who was pretending to be him, which sounds confusing but worked perfectly. This unusual method helped him understand exactly how serious and dramatic he needed to be. When another actor didn't understand why they were playing everything so seriously while funny things happened around them, Stack explained that they were like the straight men in the comedy act. Number 10. The studio wanted famous comedians instead. Paramount Pictures kept asking the movie makers to use famous funny actors like Bill Murray and Chevy Chase, who were both going to be in another comedy called Caddyshack that same year. But the director said no because they believe the whole movie idea only worked if serious dramatic actors play the parts. They told all the actors to pretend they were in a real serious movie and not try to be funny on purpose.
How soon can you land?
I can't tell.
You can tell me I'm a doctor.
No, I mean, I'm just not sure.
Or can't you take a guess?
This was a completely new way of making comedy movies, and it worked so well that many other movies copy this approach later. Number 11. Leslie Nielsen's new career. Leslie Nielsen was already 54 years old when he got the doctor role, which was considered too old for starting a new type of career in Hollywood back then. He had spent 25 years playing serious parts in dramas and was known as a reliable actor, but never as someone funny. After Airplane came out, he became much more famous for comedy than he ever was for serious movies.
You'd better tell the captain we've got to land as soon as we can. This woman has to be gotten to a hospital.
A hospital? What is it?
It's a big building with patients.
His new comedy career lasted 30 years and included movies like The Naked Gun. When he died in 2010, his gravestone had a funny message that matched his love of silly humor. Number 12. Actor special dialogue. The famous scene where two passengers speak in special slang called jive happened because the original writers didn't know how to write it properly.
Can I get you something?
Mofo, butter lamb into the bone.
When the real actors came to audition, they had to apologize for what the writers had written because it wasn't realistic. The actors then wrote all the actual dialogue used in the movie themselves. They also taught Barbara Billingsley, who played the mom on Leave It to Beaver TV show, how to speak jive properly. The joke worked because she was chosen specifically for being the most proper white lady they could find. Number 13. Robert Hays. Robert Hays had to work on 2 different projects at the same time during filming. He was starring in a TV show called Angie during the day and then rushing over to film Airplane at night. This meant he was only getting about 3 hours of sleep each night for many days during the month-long filming. Even though he was extremely tired, he still gave a great performance and learned the complicated disco dance scene perfectly. The directors later said they didn't realize how hard they made his life by scheduling him this way. Number 14. Wrong airport sounds. One of the sneakiest jokes in the movie is that Airplane makes the wrong engine sounds throughout the entire film. The directors originally wanted to use an old-fashioned propeller plane like in the 1957 movie they copied, but Paramount made them use a modern jet plane instead. As a little revenge against the studio, they kept all the propeller airplane sounds from the old movie. So the jet plane in Airplane makes propeller sounds the whole time, which airplane experts noticed and thought was funny. Most regular viewers never noticed this technical joke. Number 15. Different countries got completely different titles. When Airplane was released in other countries, many places couldn't use the same name. Australia, New Zealand, and several other countries called it Flying High instead. Germany gave it a very long title that meant The Incredible Journey in a Crazy Airplane. Italy called it The Craziest Plane in the World. These different titles created big problems for translating jokes that depended on English words. The jive-talking scene was especially hard to translate because each language had to create completely new dialogue that would make sense to local audiences while keeping the same type of humor. Number 16. Movies inspiration. Peter Farrelly, who later made famous comedies like Dumb and Dumber, said that without the people who made Airplane, he and his brother would never have become movie makers themselves. He described seeing Airplane for the first time like going to an amazing rock concert. Years later, he sent a script to one of the directors who gave him his first job in Hollywood. The movie also influenced countless other comedies and TV shows by showing that dramatic actors playing ridiculous situations completely seriously was much funnier than comedians trying to be obviously funny. Which of these surprising details amazed you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing stories about your favorite classic movies.